Alright guys, what's going on? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. We're almost at hump day, so we're basically almost at the halfway point there, guys. So before we know it, the weekend's going to be here. So anyway, with that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys about something, and I am going to first cover what the title is saying in the title, and then after that I am basically going to get personal in a way that I think it could be very helpful, because quite frankly over the last 3 months my life has changed quite a lot for the better. And I want to explain how that happened, and at the same time I believe that it's going to help you as well, especially if you feel like you're in that dark place in your life and it seems like there's no way out. And there's absolutely, just like the person that you get on this channel, I don't bullshit people, never have, never will. So the thing is, I can tell you that I'm gonna keep it very, very real as always in this video, just like I always have. So. But first, let's get into the nitty-gritty. I turned 36 yesterday, and upon turning 36, I've noticed that a lot of changes have happened in my life, and granted, I've had help, and I realized that I need a channel overhaul. This channel needs an overhaul, and for many, many reasons. Now, some of you guys have given me the kind of constructive criticism that basically has told me that my channel, my editing, my, everything, pretty much everything about my channel is quote-unquote not up to par, or that it sucks, or that my thumbnails suck, or all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, ultimately, that's not the main reason why I want to do an overhaul on this channel. After 5.5 years of, or give or take, of doing YouTube, after about the first 3 years or so, I started developing a vision in terms of if I had the means to make changes for my channel and do the channel 100% the way I wanted to do the channel, as opposed to what I'm limited to doing on my channel, and sticking to what I've been sticking over the last 5 years in terms of what my original vision was. Basically, all in all, my vision has kind of evolved, and I just never really had the means in order to make that change happen. And there's a lot of things that I've always wanted to do with my channel and here on YouTube as well over the last couple of years that I really haven't done for a multitude of reasons. And I know that in order for me to make that happen is that I'm going to have to slowly make small changes. It's kind of like how I have in my personal life, but it also happened with some help as well. But again, more in depth into that towards the second half of this video and beyond. So I hope you guys stick around for that, because I think it could help out a lot of you, whether it's a life thing. So basically, things on this channel need to change. If I keep going in the same direction that I'm going in terms of not just gameplay commentaries, but also Call of Duty and stuff like that, if that remains my meat and potatoes or my bread and my butter for this channel, it's basically nothing much is going to change, and it's basically going to be like myself chasing my tail the entire time. Now, don't get me wrong, doing YouTube videos and gameplay commentaries and having some response in the comment section is great and all, but one of the things that I've always enjoyed, especially over the first couple of years of doing this here on YouTube, was the consistent level of growth and in terms of my thoughts and my positivity. And I think one of the things that kind of affected that was the fact that I was constantly sticking and relying to Call of Duty, which has, for those of you guys who haven't known, over the last year or so, give or take, from a YouTube standpoint, as well as the game itself as well, and as well as other things, has really kind of let me down. And the thing is, on top of that, my vision, as I mentioned earlier, has evolved, and I never really got to share it or to show it to any of you. And I personally think, again, I can't decide for you, but I think personally overall, even though if this vision comes to light, even though you'd be getting, like, let's say only 1 to 2 videos a week from me, the videos would be at such high quality and so much more entertaining that I think that maybe, hopefully, you guys wouldn't mind that. And at the same time, I would be completely satisfied and proud of what I post, as opposed to just slapping a gameplay commentary together, which has become second nature at this point, and just posting that on YouTube or whatnot. And I know that there's a lot of people that do that, and they've gotten great success for a numerous number of reasons. Some people have gotten successful because YouTube was still hot back then, and doing gameplay commentaries was something that wasn't as saturated, and they managed to find growth, or maybe before the YouTube algorithm kicked in, or whatever the deal was. For whatever reason, some people may have gotten lucky, some people may have just been really good at it, or whatever the deal is, or maybe they knew how to take advantage of the algorithm, or whatever the deal is. They've gotten to where they're at for whatever reason. So I take my own experience into account because, again, I have been doing this for 5.5 years and I have my own experience. So just like I am as a person, your experience may not equal my experience. So that doesn't mean that you're 100% right with your opinion, just like it means that I'm not 100% right with my opinion as well, because there are so many different factors and experiences that come into play. So even though I may respect what some other fellow content creators have said about my content and why I haven't grown, I can also say at the same time I respect myself and my own experience. So I can't say that, their words are like the Holy Grail and the Bible to everything. But at the same time, I do take constructive criticism and I do take other people's point of view as something that is important, because there seems to be an endless amount of reasons as to how and why we could get better or why we're not getting better and all that kind of stuff. There's just many different reasons. But the thing is that, again, as my vision started to evolve over the last couple of years or last 3 years or whatnot that I've never shown on here, I have pretty much decided that it's going to take time, but there is going to be an overhaul, and it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 18 months. Now, how long? Why that long? It's very simple. There are other things that are more important that I got to take care of in life, and these things unfortunately cost money. Like, for instance, paying off the car and paying off your debt costs money. When you're taking care of another human being that relies 100% financially on you because they have no financial way of taking care of themselves, that has an effect as well. So that delays things, as well as the fact that things in 2020 have been very difficult for a lot of people financially with their work. But I am happy to say that things that in terms of bleeding money, that has stopped, and I'm going to start getting personal here. So now, as of before I get personal, there's a couple of other things I wanted to kind of tease you in terms of what I had in mind. And I've always been a person that's been just as passionate about movies as I have been in video games, and I have a very interesting way of there's always been some forms of content that I wanted to make that I never had a chance to, because of the fact that my PC, the rig needs an upgrade. My equipment needs an upgrade desperately. I need to get a really good camera, an HD camera that runs at at least 60 frames per second, so that way I could use some green screen and really start getting a little bit fancier with my editing and putting the videos together, which in turn would take a lot more time. However, the quality at the end, to where, wow, I wonder what he's going to post this time, but I know I'm going to love it because he always entertains me, that sort of a thing would start to come into play. But again, all this stuff is actually quite expensive, and I know it's not everything. I know that consistency of uploading videos is something that is a factor in terms of making it and stuff like that, or getting progress on YouTube. But the thing is, there's also more to it than that as well. So, and at the same time, just for my own personal entertainment in terms of what I would personally love to at least provide, whether it's a success or not, would be like a vision that I haven't really had a chance to show on here, and I would at least like a chance to show it on here. Worst case scenario, I would have better bells and whistles to work with, because over the last 3 years, actually for the first year when I was doing YouTube, I was recording commentaries in my car without the AC on, of course, and sweating balls. Most of you guys don't know that, and it's simply because I didn't know how to edit out all that background sound. So I was basically suffering because I just didn't know, but that's what I had to do, and that's the only way I knew how to do it, so I did it. As well as a few other things in order to get videos going. So, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, man. But the thing is, I never really got to, never really had the opportunity to basically show my full vision. And as time goes on, I mean, it's really not that healthy just to rely on just Call of Duty, especially when you don't agree with it and everything like that. So the thing is, ultimately, over the last, and here's where I start to get personal, over the last couple of months, going on 3 months now, actually, life has taken a better turn mentally, physically, and which is extremely important in my life. And the thing is that I had help in order to get there. But for me, for those of you guys think that you have to make the biggest changes and the biggest sacrifices in order to make great changes happen for you, if you think that that's it, that's actually not. That's actually very misleading. A lot of these videos that you see of people to where, they literally made the hugest sacrifices in order to get anywhere in life. Yes, to a certain degree that is true, but at the same time, it doesn't really, nobody is fully in control of everything in life. We're not going to be in control of everything. All we could do is at most turn the odds in our favor by the actions that we make. So it's all about baby steps, really, than it is about taking that one big step forward or making that one decision that could eventually have a domino effect that could lead to better things overall for you mentally, physically, spiritually, or whatever your goals may be. So basically, through some communication with a couple of professionals that I work with along where I work with at my job, some words that really kind of got through to me in terms of what I wanted, and some communication spoken back and forth, I basically started exercising again. I used to be a real gym rat when I was from age 15, when I learned how to train through a couple of guys after my freshman year of high school that were much older than me, in their late 30s, early 40s, that basically taught me how to lift weights originally for that summer. Ever since then, I was a gym rat up until I started doing martial arts. And the point is, I was always doing something. And then like for 4 years, I even back in the day in high school, there were kids in high school on the football team that thought I was taking steroids because of the amount of gains that I was making. It's like, no, I was just eating a lot and training really, really hard. And I never really took anything. And that even includes protein supplements. I never even took protein supplements. So I just had a very different methodology way of training, and my body responded to it really well, and it happened. So basically, through that decision to start working out again, there's a couple of things that have come my way that have changed my life for the better mentally and physically. Now, granted, working out, whether it's lifting weights, doing cardio, playing sports, or whatever have you, exercising in whatever form does make you feel better mentally because of the endorphins it releases, which in turn has a better effect on your life. But that wasn't everything. Here is where things started to change. Now, at that time, I was still bleeding money every month because whatever I was making at work wasn't enough. So I needed something else, and I had a lot of trouble finding that something else. And at the same time, with exercise, I had certain goals. I had evolved in terms of my thought process and how I trained and where I wanted to be and all these kind of things. And all of a sudden, like, okay, on week 3, after working out or whatnot, I go in the gym one day and I see this guy that I look up to, and he saw me, and I hadn't seen him in months because of COVID and everything that happened. And basically what happened was, like, I saw him, and then he's like, hey man, if you want, I'll be your training partner every weekend. I mean, I've got the weekends off, and I'm like, okay, what time? He's like, is 8:00 okay? By the time the gym opens at 8, because those are the times. So we get there and we train together, and this guy is he's in his early 40s, and the guy looks like he's 25, and I shit you not. From the top of his head all the way down, the guy's got like an amazing physique, and that's basically the way he lives his life. And the way he approaches things in life is the way he takes care of his body and stuff like that. And I've got this guy that offered to train me and mentor me for absolutely nothing, and he's definitely worth a lot of money, like incredible. And at the same time, around the same time, slightly before that, I had a gentleman that offered his services to me. Again, I said, sir, I'm sorry, but I'm in a bad situation right now financially. I can't afford you. To grab on your services. And this guy basically is responsible. Like he's even made people that have multi-$100 million companies like more successful, not just in their financial life, but in their personal life as well. This is what this guy does. And he's like, Jack, the only thing I want is for you, like, I don't want anything. The only thing I want in return is for maybe you to help somebody else. And I'm like, no problem. I mean, it's what I used to do for a living back when I used to teach martial arts day in and day out. Lo and behold, years later, the person that was doing all the helping was the person that actually needed the help. And all of a sudden, these things were just offered to me. Now, I know what some of you guys are going to say. Well, Jack, that doesn't happen very often. You got lucky. I'm like, yes, you do have a point, and you're absolutely right. But at the same time, if I didn't make that decision to go and work out and to change my life and to go into the gym to where it became noticeable by others, would that have happened? If I wasn't at the gym, if I wasn't going to the gym, and if I wasn't making these changes, would that have happened? Would the chances of that happening be a lot lower? Would I have seen that guy in the gym if I decided not to go to the gym that day? Would that have happened? And the answer to that is no. So I increased my chances by taking that little baby step of starting to exercise again and making that decision to go to the gym at least 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes even 6, for anywhere from, training from anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a week, which ended up turning into all these opportunities coming my way. And because of that, not only am I getting mentored by 2 different people, I'm also at a position to where one of those 2 people offered me a little side gig, which only takes 5 hours out of my week, and I could do it from home, and it stopped the bleeding from my savings account. And in turn, within the next, granted things keep on going well like this, and granted even better, and I might even be making more money doing my regular job in terms of what I'm setting out to do with the support system that I have as well, which are my coworkers as well. I'm telling you, you know, things like are going to be looking up to a point to where I could be, you know, happy with what I'm doing without killing myself doing it, because I used to work at a job that I didn't really enjoy doing, you know, for 55, 60 hours a week. And at times even sacrificing sleep in order to do so, in order to make a certain period of money. But in the end, I was becoming miserable, and it was like torture for me. I didn't realize it was torture, but I was slowly but surely working myself into depression. And I didn't know this until it was, I didn't know it until I was way too deep into it. And I did some research into it, and I'm like, wow, I'm in a pretty deep state of depression. And who knows, maybe even mine could have been mild compared to what some other people have experienced. But it really is a dark place. But the thing is, with that little change, that small little change ended up turning into something else. It's gotten to a point now, and I'm a very humble person. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just telling you what my experience has been. It's gotten to a point now to where, like even as of today, there was a beautiful woman that has over the last month or so has been complimenting me on how I look physically and how my posture has changed and how she likes the way I sound over the phone whenever we talk on the phone. And she's a person that I work alongside. I don't see her as often right now because of everything that's going on, and she does something completely different than I do, but she works within the same field. But when you get a woman that's, you know, that's good looking and that's in good shape herself, and she's saying that I'm starting to look really good, it's really motivating. And just the fact that, like, when they say that they hear it in my voice over the phone and stuff like that, or where you get people that are around you that you see every day saying that they're noticing a positive change, it's a really motivating factor. But guys, I had help in order to get here. And all it took was one little change that all of a sudden attracted all these other different positive things that are coming into my life. So if my story has helped you out a lot, then I've definitely done my job in this video. So anyway, guys, that's a lot I've pretty much divulged into this video. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So there's going to be changes happening anywhere from the next 6 to 18 months, but I wanted to let you guys know ahead of time because I think it's time. And I continue, and I look forward to continuing to what the next few months have to offer in terms of, you know, continuous positive changes happening. And I just wanted to basically get on here and share it with you because I've always kept it real. I always will keep it real. But I just want to share my vision with you guys on this channel within the next 6 to 18 months. All these things are going to take time because time is money. But in the end, I think overall it'll be better for you guys as the viewers, as well as myself with this platform. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video for what it was. I apologize for the lack of Cold War gameplay because quite frankly, my video capture software decided to take a dump while I was recording, but not that the gameplay was that well anyway, thanks to skill-based matchmaking. But hey, it is what it is, man. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comments section what you think. And for those of you guys that have watched from the beginning up to the very end, thank you very much. And thank you for sticking around with me for however long you have. And for whatever reason you've decided to click on the video, whether you've subscribed or followed, notifications, all that kind of stuff, Twitter, Twitch, even when I stream on here, for whatever reason it is that you decided to come in here and to stick around or to just to watch this video, thank you. And I hope this video has even helped you to a certain extent. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. This is Jack, signing off.